everyone, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the continuation of my decluttering series. We're doing eye palettes, which are all in there in my IKEA Alex drawer thingy. I realized I didn't do an intro, so that's what I'm doing right now. I realized that I'm actually going to need your help for this one. I will let you vote in the comments for like the ones that I'm not sure if I'm keeping or not, because for example, limited edition eyeshadow palettes, sometimes I keep just for the sake of like collection. Some of them, if I'm being realistic, I don't need to keep them. But it's hard to let them go because first off, I'm obviously a collector, but also I'm trying to be reasonable. Like if I can't use it on camera, then what's the point of having it and keeping it when I could give it to a friend, which will use it a lot more than I will. So I will let you vote for that in the comments. Also, if you realize that some palettes might be missing, you're like, Emily, I thought you had that one. It's totally possible. I moved so many times last year and a half, it's a little bit ridiculous. So it's possible that one of them is not here. It might be in a box, but I think I have most of the ones that at least I have in here. So yeah, let's do this and help me. So for sure, you have all the smaller palette, which I didn't clean anything before I did this video simply because I wanted it to be as authentic as possible. So yeah, it's a little bit of a mess. So I'm gonna go and get rid of the ones that are not sold anymore and the ones that I just didn't like. I might put some on the side just for future disappointing videos, but they will not be still in my main collection. So let's do this. I adore these Maybelline. Those are the Eye Studio. Totally recommend them. Adore them. My favorite ones will have to be the Copper Chic and especially the Taupe Temptress. These two colors in the middle are awesome. So love these. Keeping all of them for sure. I'm probably going to move this one back to the other drawer, but this is the Lorac Pro To Go. Love this palette. It's super practical. You have the 6 shades there, and then on the other side you have 2 blush and a bronzer, so it's perfect to travel. I adore these. I don't regret buying this. This is kind of like nostalgic because this is one of the first makeup palette that I got, and it's from Maybelline. This is the Natural Smoke palette, and I can't remember if this is the new or the old packaging because I remember there was 4 squares too. Anyway, it's great. I will not get rid of it, probably mostly because emotional attachment, which is not a reason to keep something, but oh well. Then all of these Milani, those are called the Fierce Foiled Eye Shine, which I don't think they're worth the money. I'm going to keep them for a disappointing product video because they don't work really well, so I'm going to keep them for that, but out of my main collection. Adore the Makeup Forever eyeshadows. I'm probably going to try to put them in a Z palette because I can never open this thing, but here you go. The eyeshadows are absolutely stunning, but I don't reach for them in this, so I'm going to depot them. Then we have some of the Bareminerals eyeshadows. This one is Mixology and Cognac, which are 2 gorgeous colors. I need to buy more of these. They're extremely creamy and pigmented. They're fantastic. Nobody ever mentioned these and they're so great. So totally recommend Baremineral eyeshadows. This is something that's going to be really, really sad, but I just have to do it. I adore these NYX Trio eyeshadows. They're fantastic, but I don't think they sell these anymore, and they are so great, and I used to love them so much. They're super creamy, like some of the best eyeshadow from drugstore, and they don't make them anymore. I believe they changed, like they have other ones, but they don't have these ones anymore, and for that reason, I can't really wear them on camera that much, and I'm testing so much new makeup all the time that I can't really reach for these all the time like I've been like doing in the past. So I think I'm going to give these ones to friends. They're basically all the neutral shades because this is what I used to wear, although realistically that's also still what I'm wearing. So I think I'm going to make a really, really happy friend with these. So let me know if they're still sold somewhere because I want to keep them, I want to use them, but I don't think they do. So next, please come back with those triple eyeshadows palette because they were so good. This one I'm gonna get rid of. This is the NYX Single Eyeshadow palette. This one was caviar something, champagne and caviar. I used to wear this so much, and the shadows aren't bad at all. Like they're super pigmented, but they're a little bit more powdery than what I like now. And I don't know. I've used this so much, but it's time that I move on and just move on. So I've had this for way too long. I'm gonna get rid of this one, but it's actually not bad at all. Those are my only eyeshadows by Illamasqua. I got this online. The swatches weren't really close to what they look like, but this color does attract me. But if I don't reach for this palette in the next couple of months, I will be giving this to someone else. Simply, it looked different online. This one looked a little bit more reddish. It's more purple. It's still pretty though, so it's just not what I expected. That color, I really like it though. So we'll see how it goes with this one. I'm going to be passing these 2 palettes by Sephora to someone else. e.l.f. has some like pretty much exact dupes for this palette, these two actually. So as you can see, those are like super shimmery baked eyeshadows. They're gorgeous, but I just don't reach for them anymore because they do have quite a bit of fallouts with glitter in there, so I'm just not into the mood to wear those. And there's this other one which is just darker with some blues and purples, which these are so hard to open, but here you go. They're beautiful, but I haven't reached for them in a while, and I know e.l.f. has some really good dupes, so I would recommend those ones instead. I'm keeping all my sleek eyeshadow palettes. I don't use them that often on camera simply because I feel like sleek isn't super easy to find in Canada, at least. US, it's a little easier. It's just that shipping costs a fortune. Like when you receive them from the UK, the duties are really high, but they're fantastic eyeshadows. I totally envy people that can easily get them. They're fantastic. I'm keeping them. I adore them. I'm keeping my 8 pan palettes from Wet n Wild because they're fantastic eyeshadows, some of the best ones you can get, especially at the drugstore. So I'm keeping those because they're still sold and they're awesome. Unfortunately, if I'm being reasonable, I need to get rid of these 3, even though the colors are stunning. It's just that they're not sold anymore, and I don't know why they stopped selling this one, Vanity, because everybody was loving this one, and I still think it's great. I think I'm just going to give this to friends because obviously I'm going to clean them up. They get dirty so quickly. But they're fantastic eyeshadows, but they are not sold anymore. So again, can't really use stuff that is hard to find or isn't sold anymore on camera, so I'm gonna make happy friends instead. However, these 2 trio I'm totally keeping. They're fantastic. Walking on Eggshell and Saline Treatment. Okay, so it's the lid color that I'm keeping the whole palette for because those lid colors are just everything. As you can see, they're amazing. Like perfect colors. Adore them. This one even like as a one shadow look, awesome. So highly recommend Wet n Wild. I know these shadows seems to have like a hit and miss reputation. Personally, I don't mind them. Like, I don't feel like they're the best eyeshadows like you can get, but I feel like they're still pretty good if you have fair skin. I feel like it can be very difficult for lighter skin tones to find palettes that aren't overly pigmented or aren't going to blend like super patchy on you. So I'm going to keep them because I do like them, especially as like drugstore makeup tutorial. I think they're great and they're affordable. I did get the Makeup Geek Vegas Night palette, I think, and I've never used it, so I think I'm just gonna give it to someone else, or actually maybe put it in a future giveaway. I never used it simply because it's too warm for me. I just don't reach for this. Then I have this CoverGirl palette. I think, again, it's a bit warm for me. I think I'm gonna give this to a friend because I use warm shadows more during the summer, not so much during winter, and since summer is like almost done, I'm gonna pass this. I have some of the NYX Single Eyeshadows. I think I'm gonna put this in Easy palette. e.l.f. has some fantastic eyeshadow palettes, which I remember now that I know I have some more in a box, and they're awesome. Like Matte for Matte or something is great. This one is Naked, which is all like shimmery shadows, so they're fantastic for a lid color especially. So like super pigmented, they're fantastic. I have another one by e.l.f. I don't think I've reached for this one. Like the shadows are good, but it's just so thin that it's hard to like put your finger in there. They're really pigmented though, but I just don't reach for it. So I think I'm going to give this to someone else. Too Faced palette. This is the Natural Matte palette, which is pretty new in my collection. I really like it. I feel like it's something I'm going to actually reach for during the fall. I love those like mauve colors. So keeping this. Same thing with these other two. Naked Basic 2 is just awesome. I adore this color. Is it Primal? Primal? It's kind of a grayish taupey color. It's fantastic in decrease, especially if you have more of a cool tone undertone. It looks like nothing on a horrible swatch, but it's fantastic. Last but not least, in this drawer, we have the Tarte Tartelette palette. It's a great palette. It's not the best eyeshadows I've ever tried, but I think it's a great array of colors, so I'm keeping it. Now my drawer is pretty dirty. I'm still going to clean this, and then it's going to be pretty much half empty, so I'll be able to hopefully combine a few drawers. So this drawer is a complete mess, and to be honest, there's some more on top that we'll have to find a place in there. So actually, I already mentioned these two, so you already know I'm keeping them. Then this one is going to be tough because the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette, I think it's fantastic. The colors are gorgeous. I really adore it, but I feel like I do have similar colors, and since it was limited edition, I can't really use it on camera anymore, which... So yeah, let me know. Should I just give it to a friend that will use the crap out of it, or keep it and use it just once in a while? That's really what kills me with YouTube. Like limited edition, that's why I don't love to buy them, because then can't use them. But this one I think I'm going to make an exception simply because it's the Carli Bybel palette by BH Cosmetic. I totally want to support a fellow YouTuber, and yeah, I need to press that back in there, but the eyeshadow palette is great, and yeah, I'm going to keep it simply because it's a fellow YouTuber. Obviously going to keep the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette simply because it's new and I love it. Then I have my two Makeup Geek eyeshadow palettes. I know this one I have a great pictures with all the names. I need to do the same with the other one, but I will post it right now so you can see it. So hopefully you can decide which colors you might want. And like I said, I need to do another one with these, but I'm not getting rid of them. They're fantastic eyeshadows and I love them. This is where it gets hard. So obviously I'm keeping my Naked palette by Urban Decay and the Naked 2. I adore both of them. I know some people don't like number 2. I love number 2. I don't own number 3 simply because it's a bit too pink toned for me and I feel like I look like I have pink eye unless I'm tan, which isn't often. So yeah, I'm going to keep these two. This one I'm torn. This is the Stila in the Light palette. I know they don't sell this exact one anymore, but I know they have another one that is very similar, so I'll link that down below. But if you are interested in this palette, the other one is very similar. Eventually, I should get the other one and then pass this one to a friend, but I haven't got around to do it, and I do really like that palette, so I'm keeping it for now, but avoiding to use it too much on camera. Then we have the two Lorac Pro Palette. Adore the first one, although again, eyeshadow that broke. I'm completely obsessed with this color, and the other one is good too. I use it less simply because I do need other colors to go with it, but during the summer, during the winter, I really want to start using it more. This I got as a gift. This is like a Costco palette, so I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't reach for it at all, and it is not a good memory, so if it doesn't make you happy, get rid of it. Okay. This is where I need you guys. I have these two palettes by The Balm and I don't reach for them. Let's be honest. I had bought one on Outlook and I just don't reach for it. I think the colors are pretty, but it just isn't appealing to me. I do like the second one better color-wise, but the shadows, they're actually not bad. I just don't reach for it at all, and I just don't know why. So let me know if you really want me to do makeup looks with these palettes, because I'm trying to do like using one palette and doing 2-3 looks in one video. So if you're interested in seeing this with these shadows, I will keep them. Otherwise, I think I will have to give them to some friends. I swear this is going to be the one that I do the worst at. It's so hard. Okay. Then we have the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. Totally keeping this. This is awesome. Then we have the L'Oreal La Palette Nude. I feel like the drugstore doesn't have enough like great eyeshadow palettes, and I feel like this is a great one. It's very expensive though from drugstore, but it's a great one, so I'm going to be keeping it for that reason. I do have the Urban Decay Naked Basics. Again, keeping this. It's awesome. Same thing with the Tartelette in the Bloom palette, which awesome too. Like, I'm looking at what I have, and I just don't see myself getting rid of anything. I think I'm going to pass this one. This is the Too Faced Love palette, which mine hasn't been touched. So I think I'm going to either put this in a giveaway pile or just give it away. Let me just check, making sure. I feel like it might look touched, but I didn't touch it. So yeah, I think I'm going to either put that in giveaway pile or just pass it to someone else. Love my chocolate bar and so my sweet palette. The Balm is good, but I don't love the shape of the eyeshadows. I feel it a bit kiddish, especially bright pink like this. It's a bit, I don't know why my contour palette isn't here. I'm going to move it to somewhere else. Then I have the Urban Decay Electric palette. This is more recent in my collection. Keeping this, it's awesome. Lorac Unzip palette. It's fantastic. Adore this, especially when I'm tan. I don't have the gold one, but I don't think I will. I prefer this one. Then I have the Lorac Pro Matte palette. Can you tell I like Pro? Here, just got rid of the box because there's no point. I think those are fantastic eyeshadows. It's awesome, so I'm gonna keep it on top so I can see it. This is where it hurts. The Balm Voyage palette, I think I'm gonna pass this to someone else. I'm not reaching for it. Making an exception with this one. This is the Lorac Mega Pro palette. It's just way too pretty for me to get rid of this. I know it was limited edition, but nuh-uh, keeping it. Okay, this is where it gets hard. Urban Decay and their limited edition palettes. I think I'm going to put the rule that I have to depot them if I'm keeping them. But realistically, I don't reach for it because it's super bulky. And yeah, I either have to depot them or get rid of it. Same thing with this 15-year anniversary one. So I'm going to keep it out and I will have to find a way to depot them or just pass them to someone else. So I wasn't sure how well I would do with this. I feel like I went through it pretty quickly, but so those are the palettes that are unused that I'm either gonna do giveaway or, you know, do something with them. Those have to be depotted and put in a Z palette. Those are either disappointing products or trash, and then the rest to be re-owned. Unless you tell me to keep this one. I shouldn't. Ah, it's so hard. I can't decide if I did well or not. I feel like I could have probably done better, but eyeshadow palettes, I don't buy them just for the sake of buying them. Like, I'm usually pretty careful, and I try to not overbuy, even though I do overbuy, but yeah. What do you think? Did you ever try to get rid of some palettes? How does it go for you? Do you do better than me or not? So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give this video a big thumbs up if you're excited for the next one, which is going to be a lipstick. I know I'm not excited, but I could understand why others would be. So don't forget to subscribe and not miss any future videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.